Welcome back to Let's Play Chrono Trigger for the SNES. Today we are taking Marl back home to her castle. And yeah, kind of weird to think about it when you see that they kind of tore down the chapel there centuries later. I guess everybody sort of just ditched religion. Oh geez, that's kind of unfortunate to think about now that I look at it that way. I wonder if we can buy Marl some weapons here. Oh shoot, we could like totally buy that weapon with the right supplements. Actually, yeah, hold on. Let's sell off of some of our old stuff. I'll sell off the Iron Blade and oh, I think yeah, some of our party members unequip like some of their old gear when they leave. So best to not sell that right offhand. I don't want to sell that just yet. So yeah, let's buy this new sword, which is way better than our current one. Actually, not even that much better, really. Whatever. Buy it. Darn it. Oh wow. Get a lot of money off of that too. And in case you're hearing me make like subtle like sounds, it's because I just have like this really bad congestion and I'm trying as subtle as possible to get rid of it. Just kind of coming into spring at this point in time, and my body doesn't quite react to that too well. So I want to kind of look into this village down here a bit better, because I more or less stopped by here to talk about stuff in the game and didn't really explain it too well. And we can buy an iron bow here, that's cool. In fact, why not? Oh wow, that's like almost twice as powerful than her current weapon. Definitely use that. Snail stop. I think this is the pet shop, ain't it? I forget what you use that for. Play a sad one, Joe. Well, that certainly is a thing. Oh, yeah, this is the, okay, this is something I like about the game. Like, you can definitely tell, like, these towns have some kind of story to them. So, like, I kind of talked to this guy in the first part, but didn't really pay much mind to him. So you can kind of tell that this, mayor here is sort of a greedy jerk. But then you talk to his kids and stuff here, and it's like, yeah, they kind of hate living with this bastard. It kind of gives you the impression that, yeah, we're seeing a real family, like, being torn apart. I don't know, there's, like, it's subtle things like that that I love about RPGs that kind of give like these areas their own sense of like character, you know. Alright, so enough about that. Let's go back through the Guardia Forest. A bit different than the one in the past. In fact, I think the enemies here are weaker, come to think of it. Some of the weakest enemies in the game. I wonder if, like, maybe they intended for you to, like, come here out of curiosity. So, like, they made the enemies, like, super weak to, like, make sure you don't get your rear end handed to you right off the bat. This probably would have made a pretty decent early game, like, grinding spot if you really needed that, but, yeah. I don't really think it's worth it, honestly. They provide good tech points, though. Not much experience points to really grind off of them, though. And with that, we learned Wind Slash. It's more or less like Luca's Flamethrower, except it's a wind light elemental attack rather than a fire elemental attack. So yeah, just aim for the enemy in the back row of the line you're facing, and then let it loose! Yeah, holy crap, these guys are giving out pretty decent tech points. So Marl has finally learned her first tech. I'm surprised I didn't learn that earlier. So yeah, she learns a healing spell too, but it's a lot better than Frog's Slurp, trust me. Because I had mentioned earlier that, like, usually the defensive characters have the better, like, effectiveness for healing spells, and Marl's no exception to that. So we're more or less just gonna see if there's anything worthwhile here, like more power tabs and stuff. And if not, we're just gonna be on our merry little way. Yeah. We're probably not even gonna bother with most of these enemies. And I see the forest kind of developed this little open field here. Kind of weird to think that the world is developing over time. Strange world, don't you know? No? What is with that hopping animation? I hate it so much. You confused her and tried to take over the throne? Terrorist! I'm gonna be honest though, I don't like these soldiers' outfits as much as I do back in the Middle Ages. Oh, well, we're not gonna have a proper explanation as to why the Chancellor had authority over Nadia, but we're just gonna let it slide for now, I guess. Alright, and welcome to quite possibly the most iconic part of this whole game. So, pay attention to what's about to happen, because a lot of the stuff we did at the fair can either come back and either bite us super hard in the butt, or quite possibly work in our benefit. Or the Ace Attorney. Sorry, I played too much Phoenix, right? Or Defense Attorney, rather. Jeez, you guys still use this... these morbid procedures? I gotta admit, though, the artwork here is very pretty. Even to this day. It kind of reminds me of the the orchestra in Final Fantasy VI when I think about it, like graphical style wise. Alright, so you want to be careful with like the decisions you make here. Yeah, I think we kind of did it actually. I'm gonna be honest though, I don't remember all of the best answers here. Objection! Oh yeah, and remember when we saved that cat for the little girl here? Well, that actually works in our favor. A medal for saving a cat? Okay. No. Yeah, okay, so right there, if you basically accidentally said to Melchior, like whenever you were saying to Chrono if he could have that pendant from Marl, if you say yes, then this will actually end up hurting you. So thank God we didn't, otherwise the Chancellor would have chewed our butt out. So yeah, because we more or less didn't get ourselves into trouble, this ended up being a pretty... Oh. Okay. Well, that sucks. I'm pretty sure it's because I said I initiated contact with Marl. I probably messed that up. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, we more or less have everybody on our side. Yeah, it doesn't matter like if you get guilty or not. This will happen regardless. But the reason we tried our best to get not guilty is for a reason we'll be showing off later. I can't help but wonder if maybe like some of the sound bites in this ROM are missing or not, or I'm just not used to the SNES's soundtrack. Because it feels like some sound bites are missing in a few areas, but I could just be going crazy. What? Oh yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, you get executed no matter what. Have fun. These guys are definitely not on our side. Why in the world does the Chancellor want us dead so badly? Oh. Well, those soldiers don't look very, human-like. I wonder if there's something wrong with the criminal justice, system here. Okay, so basically, this here is your reward for getting all of those non-guilties. Aw, that sucks. I think we would have gotten a lot more ethers if we had gotten a complete non-guilty verdict. That's unfortunate. Oh well, nothing to cry about, honestly. So, we're gonna go ahead and save here. But first, let me check something real quick. Okay. We are still good to go. Alright. Alright, so this can go in one of two ways. See, this is another one of those things I love Chrono Trigger so much about. So, like, you can choose to either annoy this guard right here and forcibly get yourself out of here, or you can literally just stand here and wait until the day of execution and you end up getting saved anyway. And it's stuff like this, like, because of, like, the different choices you can make in this game, that adds a lot of replayability to Chrono Trigger that I don't see in most other RPGs, of this caliber. Maybe other, like, Western RPGs, but not so much like JRPGs. It's probably why it's a dying market at this point. Forgive me, I said nothing. So we're gonna go with this route, because yeah, we'll be going through this, like, by ourselves for the most part, but it'll give us the opportunity to grab more things. That's what we want, right? I wonder if these guys are weak to wind. Not really. I'm so used to that being called Wind Slash, and that's just called Slash in this game, apparently. Alright, so we're busting out of here, guys. So basically, there's a lot of good stuff here to find. Just, mess with these switches here and explore all the cells you see. So we can grab all the treasure. 'Cause that's always good, right? Oh, wow. Jeez, I can't help but wonder if this wind sound effect is actually ripped right out of Final Fantasy VI. I wouldn't be surprised, given this is made by the same developer. Like, I normally don't picture Square as the kind of company that reuses sound effects for games. If anything, that's usually, like, in the case of Enix, where they, like, recycle the same sound effects for games like ActRaiser and Illusion of Gaia. So yeah, that seemed kind of weird. A mid-tonic. Mid-tonic. Ether. Alright. Oh, and Ethers restore MP if you didn't already know. The Escape Con? I'm no con artist, good sir. Well, your accuracy is dirt poor. They don't pay me enough for this. Oh, wow. We're not even gonna give him an animation for escaping out of here. He's just gonna kind of subtly move his sprite out of here. Alright, so Chrono Trigger also features interesting enemies like this, where you actually have to kind of pay attention to their animations before you can strike. And I can't think of too many RPGs around this time period that had this idea either, except for bosses like the Wind Dragon and Final Fantasy. But that was never really a concept that was utilized enough in those games. But yet you see it in action more often than not in this game. So it's like Chrono Trigger, the Square RPG that uses ideas that were cast aside. God dang it, I love this game too much. And yeah, some gates are more or less just not going to open up for you all the way. So we're going to have to find alternative means of getting into these cells for their treasure. Spooky, spooky skeletons. I don't know why, but I find that whole sequence just hilarious. Descendant? Is that spelled wrong? Or is that meant to be a pun? We'll find a way in there soon enough. Get your filthy big butt out of here. Good thing we got that new sword, because it's been blazing through these enemies like hotcakes. Oh yeah, and you can sneak past some guards too. But if you happen to go behind them, like that, you can take them off outright from the get-go. Gets good stuff like mid-tonics. Could never have too many of those. Oh jeez. He does not have a pattern for how he looks around at all. Darn it. And I thought I got you this time. Oh well. I annihilate you in one hit anyway, so what's the point? Doesn't seem to have a whole lot of experience points on hand either. Oh yeah, and it's a very good idea that you come over here and save this guy. Because, yeah, that one place with the doll and the shop is now open thanks to you saving him. So just be sure to come back to him later and he'll sell some pretty good stuff. So yeah, don't miss out on him because I don't think you can come back to this area to save him. Got a bronze mill. Nice. Though we already have one in hand, so what's the point? Can we get these guys to move into position? That one on the left there isn't really doing much of anything at all. Yeah. Okay. Oh crap, I didn't mean to. Oh! Well, that worked out in my favor. I didn't mean to use wind. Guess I'll have to remember that for later. That's kind of weird though, because in RPGs I'm more or less used to, like, the undead enemy types I'm more or less used to undead enemies being weak to like fire and curative spells, but no, in this game they're weak to wind and light. Or actually, you know what? Wind is technically considered a light elemental in this game, so I guess that kind of makes sense. What are you up to? That sounds like the kind of greeting I give to like my friends every day I log on to Discord. What are you up to today? No soldiers? Good. So now we can run scot-free. Ha 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 ha. And come to think of it, isn't that the same room where Chrono gets executed too? I think that actually kind of worked in our favor when I think about it. Instead of having Luca save us, because that's the girl who ends up trying to bust us out if we go the alternative way. Because I think he'll be dead if we choose to go the alternative route of just having Luca save us instead. But I could be wrong. Somebody answer me in the comment section, because generally speaking, this is the way I always take whenever I go through this portion in the game. It wasn't actually until I figured out by accident in a later playthrough that you can like have Luca just bust you out instead and go through this area that way. Ew. That's kind of gross. Blue shield. What's so blue about these guys? Their shield isn't blue. Oh, pfft. Whoops. And we get counter-attacked for our troubles. Yay. Ah, I should have used Cyclone. I'm dumb. Yeah, these guys don't have as much experience as I thought they would. Okay, this is the thing you want to take to get into those other cells we couldn't go into earlier. Just go through this awkward climbing sequence and you'll get the treasure. Is that a shelter? Ooh, 1,500 gold pieces. That's nice. I don't... Ah, maybe we're gonna get a load sword anyway. Boo. See, I don't remember everything. As that whole sequence kind of just indicated right there. Why in the world would you, like, make an escape sequence, but, like, make holes in the wall to go out of instead? And, like, other cells? Like, I don't understand the thought processing behind that. I might as well burn a few tonics. Or actually, we're coming to the end of this. Yeah, that was kind of pointless. Not that it matters, because we get more than enough tonics anyway. Okay, finally, I get to use a tech here for once. Oh wow, that did more damage. I guess the Cyclone's attack power is kind of a bit more powerful than the normal attack, if a bit more subtle. Okay.
Come to think of it, I wonder how a scrawny girl like her even got through all the guards to begin with. That's something I could only hope of dreaming to do. So yeah, this is kind of foreshadowing to the boss we're about to fight. That's a hint right there that it's probably weak to elemental magic. So yeah, this game does a pretty good job at teaching you like these different boss strategies, because we're not going to be seeing stuff where they kind of like give you the answer on a silver platter. We're going to have to figure that out on our own. But it's like the game's kind of teaching you that, hey, you can't just go and attack these enemies straight offhand. You're going to have to like actually sit here and like work around its weaknesses first before you can get your proper openings. And I like that. I don't see other RPGs do that, especially around this time period. Well, they probably do now, but like around this time period, it's like, nah. That's a pretty damn good way to teach the game to players, if I have to be honest. God dang it, man. I love this game so much. Like, Chrono Trigger makes a great first RPG, if I had to be honest. Because of, like, subtle things like this. That sounded a bit messed up. Well, if you were paying attention to the notes, Luca, you know we have a boss fight. So yeah, as the manual indicated, we're gonna have to take care of the head here first. Because there's not really much you can do for here without, like, taking care of it first. Like, we could firewhirl it, but the fact of the matter is it heals itself anyway. So it's safe to just kind of attack the head first with your basic attacks. Oh jeez. Those missiles didn't do as much damage as I thought they would, honestly. Yeah, these moves look like they should hurt a lot, but they really aren't. Okay, so now you could go and use like your dual techs here, but because I kind of want to tack on a little extra more damage per turn, I think the route I'm gonna go here is just spam Flame Toss and Wind Slash, since it said it was weak to both lightning and fire. Or actually, hold on. Let's see how much more damage this does. Oh, okay. Never mind then. I'm just gonna stick with my roots. Just gonna take a turn here to slash because she needs some health. Oh god. Uh-oh. Can't be having that now. Yeah, what's really annoying about revives in this game, and I guess it's because you get so many of them, is that, like, they always heal 50 HP, which seems like a lot now, but trust me, you move forward in the game, and you'll really wish you had something better. And there is, it's just you don't get that till much later. So, word of advice, do your best to keep your party members alive, because reviving them is a pain in the rear end in this game. So we're just gonna spend this turn healing up. gonna play it safe. Oh jeez. Probably gonna throw on another tonic after this turn. Okay. Well, that was the boss fight, gentlemen. Hypno Wave. Chrono trying to look like a badass here. I mean, we can do whatever the frick we want, son. We're the main heroes of this quest. So therefore, we get JRPG protagonist privileges. Oh god. Run! No, 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 no. So I guess green dresses are the new fad these days. It's like, nah, blue's overrated. We gotta switch to green. In other words, we were too lazy to design a new dress sprite for the present age, so we decided to just recolor its palette instead. Jesus Christ, I'm knocking on the sprite designs in this game too much. But isn't this kind of unethical, though? Oh, I like this character already. Yeah, see, like, I can kind of relate to this dialogue when I read it more. It's like, yeah, like, I know this is probably not the time to bring it up, but, like, I can see Ted Woosley growing as a better translator and writer as he progresses in his work. Because, like, when I look at Final Fantasy VI's dialogue, like, I hate to break it to you guys, but I just can't stand looking at the original SNES versions, like, translation at all. And I'm not saying this is, like, a work of art here, but, like, this is, like, very believable dialogue I can relate to, at least. It's way better than Secret of Mana, and it's way better than Final Fantasy VI, and it's safe to say that Ted Woosley saw growth. So you can't ever, like, knock on a translator too much and just, like, have a final opinion of them, I suppose. And that's honestly my fault, dude. Like, I'm looking at this stuff now. Like, this is the first time I played this NES version, as I stated multiple times, and it's like, god dang. Like, I'm having changing opinions here. Come to think of it, where did this gate pop out of? This place stinks anyway. This game stinks! I mean, what are we gonna do? Get ourselves kidnapped again? Well, we can probably forcibly break ourselves out again. Or, can we get the frick out of here? Because, well, come to think of it, like, couldn't we have just taken the other route and gone home and not worried about all of this? Oh god, that expression kind of scared me there for a moment. Eh.
For the plot's sake. We're not destined to go back and live a peaceful life. Oh, wow. Well, this definitely isn't the Middle Ages. So we're in the future? Hmm. Oh, wow. A pretty desolate looking future, if I had to say so myself. So, yeah. This isn't what I had in mind for, uh, the future, I suppose. Definitely doesn't look like we had a happy ending. So, what happened here exactly? Well, in the next part, we're going to explore this place even further and see what happened. So, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys then.